Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Astu Terasata Sishimati Divine Peace ISKCON Dwarka Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Astu Terasata Sishimati Divine Peace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Guru Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Friends, go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shyam Radha Kunda Giri Garodhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Mitai Gaura Premanande. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glory to Shishi Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namam Vishnu Padya Krishna. Fritai Bhutale Sumati Bhakti Trita Sham Shinamne. Namaste Krishna Paragupada Shitani. Shri Gaura Karana Shati Bhakti Trita Chinam. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manodisam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swapam Ayam Shri Guru Shri Papadakalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagritatam Saharana Bhagunatam Pitam Kamsa Srivam Saditam Savadutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Danta Shri Sakam Vitamsha He Krishna Parama Sindhu Dinamandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapatan Chana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Sute Devi Paramani Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Krishna Kripa Sandhyaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Bhakta Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for allowing us to come and visit you. Hare Krishna. So I was requested to speak from this book, Spiritual Connection. So many devotees asked me, why did you decide to do this? There are many devotees writing so many things. Rasa Tattva, varieties of our preaching styles, bridge preaching, which my special master is very expert in doing. But why did you decide to write this one? Spiritual Connection. So my little answer, this house can be constructed with, like constructing a big temple now. Very expensive, perfectly all the electrical fittings have been done with experienced engineer, with approved plan. If the connection is not connected to the powerhouse, will you get light? Why not? Everything is perfectly done. Expensive air conditions, executive chairs, furniture, so many other different gadgets are there. Why not? Perfect engineer has done the wiring. Why will not get light? There is no connection. Only if it is connected with the powerhouse that all our expenses which we made in that building will become useful. Similarly, you may belong to the movement, Hare Krishna movement. You may have a pure devotee as your guru. Our philosophy is perfect and complete. All our activities are wonderful. If we are not connected with the spiritual master, including being initiated, we are still on our own. We may belong to the movement, that's okay. You may be initiated by spiritual master, that is beautiful. You may spend 100 years already in the movement. Without the connection, we are alone. In the past, we have seen many personalities went to the forest to do austerity. Some of them even spent up to 60,000 years. They fell down. And we also saw Haridas Thakur didn't spend 60,000 years. He didn't fall down. And he didn't do the austerity most of these people did. He didn't do them. But he didn't fall down. The temptation Haridas Thakur got, they didn't get it. Durga did not tempt them directly. Durga simply sent her associate, Bishop Mitra Muni fell. Many yogis fell. For Haridas, Durga Devi came herself. But nothing happened. Yet, Durga confessed to Haridas, you cheated me. Why? She said, because you have Krishna in your heart, spiritual connection. Because you are connected with Krishna, I spent 3 days with you, I couldn't do you anything. Me, when I appeared before sages, not ordinary people, before I closed my eyes, all of them are offering obeisances to me. You, I spent 3 days, nothing happened to you. Instead, you have affected me because you are connected with Krishna. That is your strength. Similarly, we are in a very powerful organization, but we are seeing devotees all over the world. We have traveled many places. We have seen so many devotees with different levels. And we can see where we are in our Christian consciousness, that many devotees are not Christian conscious driven. Many devotees are not Krishna conscious driven. Many devotees. I will prove it from Prabhupada's statement. I will prove it. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, text 12, purports. So Prabhupada said, there are many devotees in the Hare Krishna movement who call themselves devotees, but in their heart they have no faith in Krishna. They did not accept Krishna as the Supreme God. So, such devotees are connected. Are they connected? This is Prabhupada saying. Many people in Hare Krishna movement, devotees, they don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Godhead. So they are not connected. Also in Bhagavatam, you see 1.2.17 purport. 1.2.17. Prabhupada also said that there are so many devotees in the Hare Krishna movement who are not interested to go back to Godhead, but in a movement. So the question could be, but why are we here? If we are not interested to go back to Godhead, why are we here? What are we doing here? Yes, we should remember that Krishna did not say one class of people approach me. Krishna said, how many people approach him? 4. Where are those people? Where are they? Huh? I didn't say who are they. I said where are they? My question was, where are they? I didn't say who are they. Yeah, answering who are they, but I want, where are those people? Those 4 kinds of people, where are they? Here. All of us here. Yes, all of us here. This room is divided into 4. Yes. Are we not here for Krishna? But Krishna said we are 4 groups, not only one group. There are many devotees who think that it's only one group, and they're having a lot of difficulties in their Krishna consciousness, just because we don't understand this. This is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which most of us are aware of. But did we see that there are 4 people here? Difficult for all of us to see, because excuse me, we belong to the 4 categories. Therefore, it is very important for us to know what is our purpose for being a Krishna devotee or being a Hare Krishna movement. You should be purposeful. You should have a purpose for being a movement. Lord Krishna has a purpose in creating this material world, right? He has a purpose also in speaking about Gita. Krishna has a purpose, right? So the Prabhupada has a purpose in making this movement, establishing this movement. He has a purpose. We who are inside, what is our purpose? If we don't have this answer, we're not connected. Means we're not connected. We can be around, but we're not connected. It is very important for us to be connected, because it is the connection that will allow the current from Krishna to flow down. Parampara, our system is Parampara system. When the Parampara system is not maintained, it is considered to be broken. And when it is broken, the current will not pass through. What is the proof that the connection is not there? 1, uh, 80% of Hare Krishna devotees feels insecure. True or not? 80% of Hare Krishna devotee feels insecure. Is that connection? No. 85% of Hare Krishna devotees feel depressed. Depression. 85%. Is it true? Why? Why depression? Why insecurity? Why do we have unnecessary anxiety? Because there is no connection. In Bhagavatam 3:13-49, Canto 3, chapter 13, 1-3, text 49. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, there is nothing which is unobtainable for a devotee. So where is the depression? Where is the insecurity? Where is the uncertainty? There is nothing which devotee cannot get. Devotee has everything, but that is meant for those who are connected with Krishna through the channel of the spiritual master. So it is very, very important for us to understand the importance of being connected. Those who are connected will never feel depressed, will never feel insecure, because one will see Krishna face to face. That is the proof of Krishna consciousness. One will see Krishna face to face. As I'm seeing you and you are seeing me, the same thing will have with Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. That is Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 2, text 42. Direct experience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Direct experience. Right? Like this, we are seeing Krishna face to face. We see Krishna face to face. We communicate with Krishna. There is communication. There is dealings when we have a relationship. There is dealing between the personalities that make it sweet. Detachment from all material things. This happens naturally. Just like a person who is engaged in eating, every bite diminishes hunger, brings satisfaction and nourishment. The same way for a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and is fully connected to Krishna through the spiritual master. The beginning is spiritual master, then to Krishna. So seeing the difficulties the devotees are passing through, so we decided to do some little service to teach devotees that we have the best thing and we shouldn't suffer unnecessarily. It is very, very painful to have a wealthy parent and one is loitering in the street. It is very painful. We have the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we have the best spiritual master we can have, Srila Prabhupada, and all his representatives, and we are feeling lonely, we are feeling depressed, and feeling insecure. That means there is something lacking. What is lacking is the connection. Our consciousness is not linked with Krishna consciousness. Therefore, there is a lacking. So let us look at the three categories of a disciple, which will help us to find a way to see where we are and get connected. This is chapter 10 on page 174 for spiritual connection. This is spiritual connection. There are four broad categories as given below in which a person can be classified as a disciple. First, a first-class disciple. One who knows the heart of the Guru and is able to do the needful without being told, demanded, or instructed, falls into this category. This ability does not come through imagination or mental speculation or some sort of conjecture or even psychic powers. Rather, it comes through an intense and sincere practice of dedicated devotional service under the Guru's tutelage. This connection comes through an intense and sincere practice of dedicated devotional service under the Guru's tutelage. Sincerity and eagerness. Sincerity and eagerness to serve the spiritual master brings about the connection that we needed in our spiritual life. And in Prabhupada has mentioned about Bhagavad Gita 434 purport. Such a bona fide spiritual master must be surrendered unto in completeness, without and serving without false prestige, just like a menial servant. Sincerity in the service. What is sincere service? Service which does not have any demands, any expectation. Nothing is expected. I know it is my duty and this is my connection with the spiritual master. I must please him. Therefore, that is the only reason why I'm rendering this service. The only reason I'm doing this service is to please him, is to give him satisfaction, is to make him happy. That is the only reason why I'm doing the service I'm doing. Not that I'm expecting anything from it. That is sincere service. And you should be eager for that service. Very eager to do that service. One service is considered devotional service when this service is consciously offered to the spiritual master for his satisfaction. That becomes devotional service. Otherwise, it is service but not devotion. Not only Hare Krishna devotees distribute books. There are so many bookshops all over the world. What's the difference? They are selling books, we are selling books. What is the difference? They may even sell more or not. But what is the difference? We are selling books. They are also selling books. So many bookshops all over the world. Right? What's the difference? There are so many people who are cooking all over the world. And we also were cooking. What is the difference? The difference is the service we're doing. The consciousness. It is not a service. All species of life are doing service. But Prabhupada didn't call them devotional service. Our services are different when it is consciously offered to Krishna for his pleasure through the medium of the spiritual master. Then it is considered devotional service. That is our connection with the spiritual master. Most of the time, not much of the time, almost all the time, when the Prema Dwini prayer is being said, all devotees are sitting. What does that mean? What is the meaning of that? Prema Dwini prayer is not sitting. All devotees are flat on the floor. And when it is completely, the mantras are completely recited, the devotees must recite the mantra of their spiritual master. We don't see that these days. And it is giving pain to the heart when we see this thing happening. The beginning is not done. What do you think you're going to do with the end? We have to begin from the beginning, not from the end. So, most of us have forgotten our spiritual master's pranama mantra because not regularly offered. Something which is not regularly done, it is forgotten. We are mechanically functioning in a Harikesha movement, a movement which is based on devotion. We are mechanically functioning. Mechanical service is never considered devotional, and Prabhupada said 1865 purport. Whimsical activities should not be offered to Krishna. 1865 purport. Whimsical activities should not be offered to Krishna. So when we are not offering obeisances to the spiritual master, what is the purpose of humility? Please accept my humble obeisance, but I'm standing. What is the dandawat? What is it? I'm not seeing, that's what I'm asking. What is the dandawat? What is dandawat? Means what? But we don't see that. Jai Om Vishnu Pal Paramahamsa. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. What is the spiritual master we are remembering in our consciousness? Where is he? How many of us here remembered when you are offering obeisances? For some of us who offer obeisances, how many of us remember that I'm offering obeisances to the person? You may have knocked your head down, but who remember that I'm offering obeisances to a person? Who remember that we are circumambulating Tulsi Devi and she's a person? Who remembers? Who sees Tulsi Devi that I'm circumambulating? Who sees? Who remembers? Did you get my question? How many of us here remember Tulsi? I'm sorry, I'm not embarrassing you. I just want to know what is happening. Or I just want us to know what we are doing, which is disturbing our connection with the spiritual master, disturbing our connection with Krishna. And these are the things we are going to do for the whole of our life. Not that sometimes. We are circumambulating Tulsi Devi every day. How many remembers that I'm circumambulating a person whose mercy can give me Krishna Prema? Who remembers? I'm circumambulating a person, not even a tree or a plant. Do you understand? Who remember the spiritual master when we are offering obeisances? Who remembers? Even Prabhupada, who is sitting there, our spiritual master may not be sitting there, the Prabhupada is sitting there. When we are offering, reciting the pranama mantras, who remember that I'm offering obeisances to a person? What is our connection with what we are doing? If I don't think of you, will I have any feeling for you? Will I have any feeling for you if I don't think of you? Then how will you cry when the spiritual master leaves the body? Or the scripture recommends, the spiritual master leaves the body, you should go with him. Except if you have a project for him. That's the only qualification for us to say. Otherwise, we should go with him. Who will do that when we don't feel him? Crocodile tears, which we share when the spiritual master passes away, it is not the feelings that you have. Women do that very easily. Very easily. Is that the love of God? The tears? That is different. That is due to anxiety, not due to pure love of Godhead. Spiritual connection. It means that we are consciously doing what we're doing. We are seeing the person we are offering obeisances in our mind's eye. Even if he's not physically sitting there, we should see him in the mind. We are not impersonalists. We are personalists, but we are more of impersonalists than the people we call impersonalists by looking at our activities. Should be persons, because that is what we are. We are persons. So we are dealing with personalities. So we should identify these persons. We are dealing with the spiritual master, he's a person. We are dealing with the Prabhupada and all our charities, they are persons. We are dealing with Krishna, he's a person. I know many Hare Krishna devotees, they call our deities idols. So, because it is idol, how will I have relationship with idol? We are not idol worshippers. We are deity worshippers. When our consciousness is of idol worship, we have no connection with the Krishna, because Krishna is not an idol, he's a person. He has feelings, he eats, he sleeps, he does everything which we are doing. And it is because of him we are doing what we are doing. He's a source of everything. So we have to learn how to relate with him. And then we'll develop our connection with him. Otherwise, it will remain in the book. All our things remain in the book. No practical thing. The original idea of this book came from my spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara, 1984. One Janmashtami, in the morning, he announced, I want all the devotees to write a letter to Krishna. That was the best Janmashtami, because we didn't feel hungry. We were not thinking of hunger. We were thinking how to write a letter to Krishna. The whole day, it took us the whole day to think to how to write a letter to Krishna. Many questions came to the mind. Will he answer us? And if he answered, how will I know he answered me? But the instruction was that everyone should write a letter to Krishna. We were going from one devotee, have you written? Have you written? Can you show me what you have written? I want to see what you have written. We're going through Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam to Ishopanishad to all the books we're going through, to song books, Vaishnava song books. We went through all this. Can you imagine how ecstatic that Janmashtami was? So eventually we wrote and we submitted everything to him. So he put it in a basket and placed in the altar. So in the evening, then he asked the pujari to bring the letters back. Then he requested whoever wants to read his or her own, so search it and read it if you want. If you don't want it, it's optional. So some of us read. And then he told us that what we have done is a reflection of Krishna consciousness. It's a reflection. And that if we don't treat Krishna as a person, by writing him a letter, confessing our weaknesses, begging him for forgiveness, beg for the strength to continue to become empowered to serve him, our dealing with Krishna will remain superficial. To establish connection with Krishna, we should write him letters. And from that day onward, we started writing letters to Krishna, to other incarnations of Krishna, to himself, to our chariots. And I'm telling you the truth, that has helped me so nicely, that led me to start thinking we should learn how to communicate with our spiritual masters, to communicate with Krishna, because it's real. And we have a tremendous life. We're writing a letter to Krishna, telling him everything, and begging him for help for everything in Krishna consciousness. And it works powerfully, because it works. Therefore, we decided to write this to teach us how to be connected with the spiritual masters, to be connected with Krishna. By writing him a letter. You cannot write a person a letter without thinking of that person. You cannot call a person without thinking of the person. Before you call a person, you'll be thinking of that person. Before you write the person, you'll be thinking of that person. So to write a letter to Krishna, we'll be thinking of Krishna. And in this case, we're thinking, we're very careful of what to write. And we are expecting to have a result from him. This brought a connection. Brought a connection with the Krishna. You have wonderful experiences in your Krishna consciousness. If you develop the habit of communicating with Krishna, writing him a letter as a person, build that relationship. Like from our practical experience. So we are still talking about the first class disciple. By seeing, hearing, and following the Guru with complete attention, one begins to always hear the Guru's word in one's mind. Spiritual connection. By seeing, by hearing, and by following the Guru with complete attention, one begins to always hear the Guru's words in one's mind, in one's consciousness. It becomes so spontaneous that such a disciple can carry out the instructions of the spiritual master without being told. Such a disciple, having made himself totally available as an instrument in the hands of the Guru, begins to receive transcendental guidance and inspiration from within as a practical or as a special grace of the super soul. This is spiritual connection. A bona fide disciple's perfect attitude and a bona fide Guru's perfect training qualifies such a disciple to be specially empowered and raised to this level of discipleship, wherein the Guru and the disciple become one in will and purpose. Because of such a deep level of understanding, such a disciple even becomes eligible to make adjustment to the details while keeping the principles behind the instructions intact. I have practical experience about this. Our beloved founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, the epitome of discipleship, made such adjustment while incorporating the ISKCON society. He reduced the prescribed minimum number of rounds to be chanted daily from 64 to 16. He was probably the first sannyasi guru in the history of Vaishnava culture to have personally wed disciples. Being a first-class disciple, he knew the mind behind all the teachings of his spiritual master, and thus, with expert diligence, applied and propounded them as per time, place, and circumstance. He is the only person who did this. There have not been any history of any guru, sannyasi, who did wedding. Only Prabhupada did that. He was the first person to do that. And he succeeded. He succeeded in all the things he adjusted. He did everything perfectly, and he succeeded. He got perfect results. And by this, he taught us, don't just look at the activity, look at the conclusion of that activity. The conclusion of the activity shows what it is. If you don't do that, you'll make a lot of mistakes. Second-class disciple, one who is told what to do and who very happily and enthusiastically does it. It's a second-class disciple. Taking the orders of the spiritual master as his or her life and soul. Such a disciple executes them with great attention. Such a disciple follows the Guru's instruction with no speculation, adulteration, consideration, or retardation, and does not offer any excuses or justification for not executing any of the orders. The Guru has influence upon his disciples, and it is expected of the second-class disciples and those above to allow that influence to act upon them. By strictly adhering to the orders of the Guru, the disciple lets the Guru's influence create wonders in his or her life. The lives of the faithful followers for Srila Prabhupada are graphic examples of that. They could make very swift progress because Srila Prabhupada's influence was dominant in their consciousness. Third class disciple. One who hears the Guru's instruction but has to be reminded time again about acting upon them belongs to this category. He or she may carry out the Guru's order but grudgingly and offensively. To act on instructions at one's convenience, comfort, or liking of one's mind is one of the characteristics of such a disciple. Second class disciple speculates on the orders of Spiritual Master. He will do it at his own time, when he likes, not when the Guru likes it. It's when he likes, he will do. Speculation is his deity, and he fails to follow the instructions in totality. Here is an example of how the third class disciple acts. If the Guru asks for a glass of water, he will either pass on the service to someone else, or will wait for someone else to do it, or will speculate and bring juice or milk, thinking that since milk is better than water, it will please the Guru more. Because his mind is not fixed on following the instruction as it is, he ends up committing offenses at the Guru's lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Does it make sense? Huh? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now you comment or ask me questions. Any comments or questions? Yes. Have the mic.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev. Please accept my most humble obeisances.
Thank you.
Unto the dust of your lotus feet. Gurudev, as you said that we must offer our respectful obeisances, and while offering respectful obeisances, we should think of our Guru in our mind. We try to do that, Gurudev, but while doing that, that is mostly on just for doing that. In the beginning, we do not have any connection or feel for that. We just try to do it. So Gurudev, will it help us, or how should we do it in a proper way? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it will help. Everything has a beginning, and we should begin from the beginning. And the beginning of everything is not always wonderful. It's full of mistakes. But when we continue with the regular practice, then we become mature and learn from so many mistakes and become strong. So we should continue. Eventually we will get there. Yes. Is there a question here? Hare Krishna.
So I just had it out. You said a statement that we should not focus on the activity, we should focus on the conclusion. So you said that we should not focus on the activity, we should focus on the conclusion. So I didn't get it. Could you please
Okay.
elaborate?
I was trying to say that when we see someone doing something, we should not judge. We should check what is the result of this activity. What is the result? If the result brings higher realizations, it brings perfect results, how can we condemn the activity? So if you don't know the end result, we shouldn't talk. Otherwise you make mistake. When Srila Prabhupada started adjusting things according to time, place, and circumstances, his God brothers criticized. But that adjustment has worked miracles all over the world. So many people that have taken to Krishna consciousness because of that. So he's empowered to do that. And he did it. By looking at him when he was doing the beginning, who would have thought that he's going to do a wonderful thing? They would say, oh, what is this? Oh, you are changing our Guru's instruction. Oh, you are this, you are that. But he succeeded. He changed it. Right? So when we see some activities, we should check the end result. How will it be? All right? Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please explain the most humble obeisances. Maharaj, as you said, that one of the symptoms of lost connection is that we feel depressed and we feel insecurity. And in that reference, you quoted a verse from Bhagavatam 3:13-49, in which there is a mention that Krishna takes charge of the devotee completely,
Yes.
and everything can be achieved by the devotee.
Right.
But that verse that verse is for pure devotees, and I am not a pure devotee. So how to apply this verse in my situation?
That is for every devotee. It's for every devotee, pure or not pure devotee. It is for a devotee. You are chanting Hare Krishna? Sorry. That's good. It's for all of us. Krishna consciousness is for the beginners and also those who have attained perfection. It's the same thing. It is not that now we are practicing chanting Hare Krishna, and when you attain pure love of God, you will not chant Hare Krishna again. No, that is when we do the real chanting. We are practicing as who can do the pure chanting. So it will continue for eternity, always chanting Hare Krishna's name. It is for all of us. Krishna knows our intention in whatever we do, and he will respond to that. The quantity may be different, but it's the same. All right. Anyone else? If you don't ask question, if I leave you, don't go and ask me question outside. I'm not answer. Now you have chance, you can ask. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, like you said that when a guru asks for water, but the disciple is thinking of giving milk or juice. So that means the disciple is not fixed in the instruction of the guru. So, but like we see that the Prabhupada disciples, they have done more than what Prabhupada had instructed them to do. So how should we see that?
What they did, depending on Srila Prabhupada. For example, Srila Prabhupada is not physically present, he is spiritually present and is overseeing everything. And he gave instruction to build a temple of Vedic planetarium. And they put all the energy in doing it. What is wrong with that? It's perfect. if they have prayed to Prabhupada and taking inspiration from him to do something which is benefiting the whole world, that is fine. If we do something which is not benefiting but is creating doubt in the minds of other devotees, then it's dangerous. That is dangerous. But they have done something which is bringing glorification to Prabhupada, and it's increasing the faith of devotees, and we're making more devotees. That is wonderful. That is great. That is inspiration. That means they are connected with Prabhupada. So they can do that. They couldn't have done it on their own. But because they are very loyal to Prabhupada, they were empowered to do something which is wonderful. Krishna consciousness will continue to expand. Not only externally, but we should expand it spiritually. Especially spiritually, we should expand it. That is Krishna consciousness. All right? Okay. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Please.
Maharaj, what is the difference between being independently thoughtful and what is the difference between being independently thoughtful and speculation?
Oh, okay. Independently thoughtful and speculation. And independently thoughtful means that although we depend on Krishna, Prabhupada said, it does not mean that we don't have realization. We have realization. Our realization should correspond with our Acharya's realization. That is independently thoughtful. It becomes speculation if our realization is outside. If our realization is outside and the result is not wonderful, that is speculation. For example, we are changing dhoti to Christian monk. That is speculation. Right? When we start wearing pants to altar, that is speculation. It will never increase the faith of anyone in Christian consciousness. Only people of the same category will be appreciated. And if you look carefully, people who have never lived, have an experience of ashram life, have been dedicated devotees who are still hanging around, they will appreciate that. But those who have been trained properly in Christian consciousness will not appreciate that. That is speculation. It will bring confusion to people's heart. That devotees. That is speculation. All right. Last question. I want to show you something also, and then we can conclude.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
As you're telling that Haridas Thakur was so connected that he could even affect Maya Devi.
Yes.
In our case, we begin, okay, we want to be connected, but then because of other pressures so many times, the connection to Krishna gets like second priority. Doing things in this world becomes the first priority usually. Connection to Krishna becomes, like, internal connection becomes less priority. So how we can keep the focus on keeping connection with Krishna as the focus, high priority.
That is why we did mention, if you remember, we mentioned that most of us are not Christian conscious driven. You remember? A person who is Christian conscious driven will always have Krishna in the center of our activities. Always. That is being Christian conscious driven. We'll be guided by Krishna. We'll be guided by pure devotees. Even if you don't have a physical association with them, See, Krishna consciousness is not limited to physical, geographical consideration. It is not. Something which is authentic, which is bona fide, it is consistent. Anything which is affected by time, place, and circumstance which is not consistent, is not absolute. Absolute thing must be consistent. But Gita is consistent. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna, oh yes, yes. What I didn't tell Son God, I'm telling you. Krishna said like that. What I told Son God is the same thing I'm telling you now. That's consistent. Right? That is something which is absolute. Does not change. Anything which is affected by time is not absolute. So Krishna conscious driven person will be consistent in our dealings. And inspiration comes, realization comes through, and they are all confirmed by our chariots. And the present will always be happy in our innovations in Krishna consciousness. So I wanted to show you also what is happening, what is taking place in ISKCON. ISKCON is expanding. Every time I come to India, I'm seeing a lot of expansions. That is how the nature of Krishna consciousness always improving. So we are also trying, probably we'll make an announcement, we are developing a community in Africa. I want to show you just one of it. Like to see? Yes. Okay.
Welcome to Surbi Farm. Our vision at Surbi Farm is to produce and consume karma-free food because we are not harmful.
Can you see?
We are not harmful to the soil. We are not harmful to the plants and the trees. We are not harmful to all the living entities that are there. Rather, we maintain every living entity. It's Surbi Farm, a sacred land being constructed with love and devotion, where each corner is a heaven for spiritual growth. Here, we have a clinic health center, a place of healing for body and soul, ensuring the well-being of all the devotees as they embark on their journey to Lord Shri Krishna. At Surbi, knowledge flows like a sacred river. The school or Gurukul stands as a beacon of learning, nurturing the minds of young souls in Krishna's teachings, preparing them to lead lives of devotion and wisdom to all. For our dedicated male devotees, a residence that offers peace, privacy, and the opportunity to immerse in spiritual practices, away from the distractions of the material world, while remaining in the shelter of Lord Krishna's loving place, a male residence. Couples seeking a space to nourish their spiritual journey together can find solace in the couple lodge. Here, every step is taken in Krishna's service, strengthening bonds in devotion and shared purpose only. At the heart of Surbi lies the temple, where we come together in deep reverence to chant, to pray, and to offer our hearts to Lord Shri Krishna, a sanctuary of peace, where His divine personality of Godhead, His presence fills the air and leads us to eternal bliss. For the dedicated female devotees, the residence provides a safe and serene space where they can engage in their daily practices, cultivate devotion, and experience Krishna's loving mercy in every moment. The community hall stands as a place of gathering where hearts unite in service, discussions, and fellowship. Here, devotees come together to strengthen their connection with each other and with Lord Shiva. For our senior-most devotees, the ashram provides a peaceful retreat, a place where wisdom and experience shines brightly, and the heart remains close to Krishna, finding solace in the golden years of devotion. Last but not the least, the maintenance and service units work tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that Surabhi remains a sanctuary for all who seek shelter. A humble offering of service where everything is done for the pleasure of Lord. Welcome to Surabhi Farm.
We are not asking you for donations. Because this is Krishna's project. Krishna himself made arrangement for everything. We don't go to ask for donations, but Krishna is providing everything. We only invite you to come and participate. Here, in this place, our schools do not only Gurukul. Because after Gurukul, don't you see that you are wasting our children's time? What they are Gurukul? Did you see that? No? After our children grow from Gurukul, what do they do? After they graduate from Gurukul, what do they do?
They go to normal colleges.
See, they go to
Colleges.
normal college. My question was, don't you see that they are wasting their time? Can you see? If they get angry with us, can we blame them? We should not forget that ISKCON have been sued and we pay heavy amount of money to pay us. And it is not finished. That pain has not been removed till now. We're keeping somebody for years, and after that he goes back to medical school. That is fair. They should have done it directly. By the time you finish school, we have spent all that time here, wasting that before you start to the school here. But they're supposed to spend 5 years, they're going to spend 10 years to graduate. That is not fair. So what we're trying to do is, here, we learn everything, all of them together in one place. So if a person graduates from school here, you have everything, you have the knowledge all about all these things, you also have the normal science, how it's all together in one place. So if you want to work outside, it's fine. If you want to continue here, it's fine. And nobody can blame us for anything. That's our system here. And here, the project does not depend on donations continuously. The project will maintain itself. Because we are producing all organic food, all organic food that will sell to people. They will come and buy from us, not buy from outside. So Prabhupada predicted that after the Third World War, thousands, millions of people are coming to join ISKCON. Of course, they're building a big paper. You think it will contain everybody? So where will we keep them? And you're going to give them. You see what Papa said, not me. We should think about it tomorrow, not just today. We should not think about today. Today is limited, but tomorrow is expansive. We should think about that. And Papa cannot say empty words. His words are fully loaded with reality. They are all authentic. They have seen. Nothing is said will never take place before. Everything said always take place. So he's saying that in the future, so many people are going to come to Christ because the world has shattered their life. They cannot be there. They will come to ISKCON. And he said, and you must accept them. So we keep them. That was my question. So we're thinking ahead. We're making this the community so we can accommodate people, provide all our necessities, and also serve the people, not only depending on, most of our projects constantly depend on donation from people. That is not powerful. Community needs to be sufficient and take care of other people. Hare Krishna, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami.